welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. If you are returning, you already know it. You are fabulous. All right, welcome everybody, and thank you so much for being here with me today. Okay, so let's get started. I have got this frame that I got from the Dollar Tree. I've also got these little look at these. How stinking cute are these for $1 a piece, y'all, from the Dollar General store. I love it. All right, and then I've got some scrapbook paper that came from Hobby Lobby. Now, the first thing I did was take everything out of my frame. Took the back off, took the glass off, set the glass to the side. I've got my plaster chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm just going to give this frame 2 good coats. We're going to be distressing it. I could have just left it black, but that's no fun. So, you know, whatever, pull out the paint. So in between coats, I did dry it with my heat gun. There's always a link in the description box for it. Look at these. These are pastry brushes, y'all. I bought these for $1 at the Dollar General store. There's 2 to a pack, and they are perfect for distressing. They are like the perfect chip brush. Now, the first thing I did was snip off the hanger, the wire hanger that was on the back of these little signs. Too stinking cute. I cannot get over those. Now, I did take that plaster, get a little on my brush, on my pastry brush, chip brush, whatever you want to call it, and I began to dry brush these little signs. Now, I started out light-handed, and then I do go darker because I thought it looked really good. So I did get darker as I went, but super cute and super simple. Just dry brushed each one of them. Look at that. They really distressed really, really well. All right, now I'm taking my Antique Wax by Waverly, and I'm just going to go over this. Now, I'm using just a regular paintbrush, and it's a small one. And I did that because I didn't see any sense in messing up a big paintbrush when all I was going to do was like put it on and then kind of smear it around anyway. So I took a baby wipe and just kind of wiped at it. I wasn't really going for like the strokes, you know, distressed looked strokes. I was more or less going for like a dingy look. Okay, now I took the glass that was in that frame, put it on the back of my Buffalo Check scrapbook paper. That's the one I decided to go with. As you've seen there, I just drew myself a line, cut this out. What we're going to be doing is attaching that to the glass. Now, I took the other piece that was left, positioned it to where I could get it matched back up. And then I drew a line, but as I was drawing the line, I realized that I could just run my finger right along the edge and it would make a crease. And so that's actually how I lined off the second piece. Now, once I get that cut out, we're going to be taking some of the Aleene's tacky glue, and I just added that straight to that glass. Now, I wasn't sure if Mod Podge would stick real well to the glass. I just didn't know how it was going to work out, and I really didn't want any kind of bubbles or anything like that. So I knew that this Aleene's it would stick perfect, and y'all, it does. That Aleene's is some really good stuff for certain projects. I feel like it's the number one thing to use on just certain things. Now, I lined up my 2 pieces of paper, laid them directly down onto that glass, took the rest of my glue that was left on my brush and just added it there to the edge of that piece, and then glued it right down. And y'all, you cannot tell that this is 2 pieces. I mean, it really worked out super, super great. I then added it back to the frame, and now we're going to add our little pictures right on top. This turns out so stinking cute, y'all. Oh my goodness. Okay, so all I did was add some hot glue right around the edge of that frame, and just laid my little picture right down on there, my little sign. This was so easy to do, y'all, and it really does look high-end. I mean, I can't get over how well it turned out. Super, super cute. So once again, just added my hot glue and then added my pictures down. Cannot get any easier than this. So stinking cute. I love this so much. Check it out. Alrighty, y'all, moving right along. DIY number 2. Okay, so for this one, I've got this farmer's market tote bag that was sent to me by a very special viewer friend of mine. Actually, I was sent 2 separate packages. I got some of the tote bags, so very cool. Got one of those canvases from the Dollar Tree, and then I've also got this 2-pack of stretch canvases that came from Five Below. So $5 for 2 of them. Can't beat that. First thing I did was take the canvas completely off of the frame. That frame is perfect for this. I then took that tote bag and my X-Acto knife, and I just kind of cut out the seam at the top, and then I was able to just completely rip this bag. The seam just ripped right off. Now, once I got the piece that I was actually needing for this project, I'm going to take that Aleene's glue once again because I thought it was perfect for this project also. I added it to my canvas. Now, I'm adding it to the plain canvas, obviously, because we just took the canvas off of that frame. So this is just that thin, flat canvas that came from the Dollar Tree. And I just add that Aleene's glue. I be sure to smear it in, real evenly, get everything super even. I take the tote bag, lay it right across the top of that canvas, and then I'm just going to smooth it out. It smooths out perfectly, and that tote bag was super wrinkled from where it had actually been in a box, so smoothed out perfect. Now, once that dried, I took my rotary tool, laid it over the top of my cutting board or cutting mat, and then just cut that off, the excess. Super easy. This DIY right here is very, very easy to do. So, like I said, just cut that right off. No big deal. Comes off super easy. Those rotary tools are so handy to have. Now, I'm taking my mineral chalk paint by Waverly and also the antique wax, and I'm just going to mix those two together. Now, what I'm trying to do, I add some water because what I'm wanting to do is make a stain. But I wanted like kind of like a whitewashed. If you watched my last video, I did some white paint with the water, and it turned out awesome. It was like a whitewash. So more or less, that's what I'm trying to do with this, but I wanted it to be a brown color. And also that mineral has got a lot of gray in it. So what I was really wanting it to look like was weathered wood, like old barn wood, weathered, anyway. So that's what I was going for. I didn't exactly achieve it, but I tried. So I just added that all over, took a baby wipe, wiped off all the excess that was on it. I mean, it looks pretty good, actually. I like the way it turned out, but I did want it distressed a little bit more. So I ended up taking my plaster chalk paint and dry brushing this all over it. It had where somebody had wrote on it, like actually wrote on the frame. I'm sure it happened like during manufacturing or something, but there was actually like scribbling on it. I think it was the number 38 is what it looked like. But I was able to cover that up with the dry brushing, so you won't see that. But I think it turned out great. All right, now I did take the rest of the paint that was left on my brush and just dry brush right over the top of that farmer's market, on the sign, because I didn't want that red to be so stark red. Like, I just wanted it to look a little more weathered. I then took the frame, added hot glue all the way around it. Super simple, y'all. This is the easiest DIY, and this really looks nice. Added my frame right to the top of it. Y'all, that's how simple this was. So stinking nice. I love this. I know I say that about everything, but y'all, these are so easy to do, and they turn out great. last but not least, DIY number 3. Okay, so for this one, I've got 2 of these birdhouses that I got from the Dollar General store. Now, they were like 75% off, so I think I gave like a $1.50 for them or something. Anyways, I thought they were perfect for DIY. And I've got some reindeer moss. I've also got these bamboo sticks that I got off of Amazon. I have got one of these arrow signs from the Dollar Tree, and then I've also got a pack of the wood planks from the Dollar Tree. Now, first thing I did was just lay these out on top of my birdhouses. I took well, it wasn't a ruler. Obviously, that was a fingernail file, but we're going to be using that in a second, so that's why I had it out. Anyways, I laid it across there, figured out how long I needed this plank to be. I then took a ruler, laid it across my piece of wood, and then I began to score this with my knife. So, box cutter, whatever you want to call it. So, the first couple times I scored it, it didn't pop open. But watch this. It seriously is so easy to do, y'all. You do not need a saw or anything like that to use these planks. So I scored over it a couple more times, and then look how easy that was. It just popped right off. I'm taking that diamond fingernail file that I get from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to file this down a little bit, kind of more or less like you're using sandpaper. It was just simpler. It's small. It was right there. Now, I'm taking that arrow, adding some wood glue to it. That is Gorilla wood glue. Get it at Walmart. I think I got mine at Lowe's, maybe. Anyways, I'm adding a little bit of hot glue right around the edge there. Add a little in the middle. This dude's going to stick. You hear me? So I just added it right there to the middle. I took another piece of wood, the wood planks. I added my hot glue, kind of smeared it in a little bit. Or my wood glue, smeared it in a little bit, and then I added my hot glue, and I'm going to lay that right on top of that arrow. Too cute. These turn out super cute, y'all. I hope that y'all like these, because I'm like in love with them. Now, I took that other piece that we cut off, added my wood glue, added my hot glue, and then I just placed it right over the top. Now, what we're doing essentially is covering up those stars, but we're getting somewhere. Just hang with me. Now, I'm taking some Crimson Red by Waverly, adding it to my little container here, and then I'm going to add in some Waverly's wax, the antique wax. Mix that up real good, and what I was going for was like a barn red. So I think I kind of got there. It was a little bit maroonish, but it's okay. I was going for barn red, and we're pretty close to that. Once again, I'm using my heat tool to dry that. Don't forget, that's always in the description box. I took the other little house that we're making and painted it white with Waverly's white chalk paint. I painted the roof of the white one with my black chalkboard paint that comes from the Dollar Tree. And now I made sure to paint underneath there, like the little hangover that the roof has. I made sure to go ahead and paint that in black. I'm then going to now I wiped my brush off. I took my brush that had the black on it and wiped it off on top of my other roof, because as you can see there, it's got some black on it. I'm then taking some gray. It is Elephant Gray by Apple Barrel, and then also some silver, metallic silver by Folk Art, and I'm just kind of putting the two on my little sponge at the same time and just sponging over the top of this. And look at how fast this looks, just like galvanized. So simple. Now, I'm taking that stain that we used from earlier, and we're just going to go over our little planks that we have on the front there. These are going to be our doors, and so I wanted something that had that wood look to it, because I'm really going for like an old antique barn, and obviously an old, I guess you'd call it antique. I don't know, but we're making a church out of the other one, if you were wondering. All right, so I took those bamboo sticks, laid it up against my little plank, cut those off. I actually cut off one for each side. I also cut one for the middle of that, for up at the top. I wanted to be able to make that little, like the X that's on the front of a barn door. So that's what we're actually making with the little bamboo sticks. And those things cut super simple. You don't even need, you can cut those with scissors. I was just using my wire cutters just because they were there. I then took my pieces and painted those white, added some hot glue to the back of them, and then I began to place them on our door. This is so stinking cute, y'all. All right, so I'm adding my hot glue. Just going to add it right there to the side. What we're doing is building that piece that looks like the X on the front of a barn door. So as you can see there, I just continued to add my hot glue and add my little pieces. So super simple. Got off any of the excess hot glue that was there. I add this last piece, y'all, and it is so dad blame cute. Check it out. It's a little barn. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I took the other one, laid a chalk paint lid on it, and got like a half circle. I'm then going to take my ruler and draw my lines. That way I've got a perfect little cutout in it, and I'm going to paint that with my white chalk paint. I can't talk tonight, y'all. I feel like I'm stuttering everything I say. Now, I'm taking the Arteza burnt sienna, and I'm just going to go over the edge of this, the roof on this. And that is just to rust it up some, distress it. That burnt sienna is the perfect color for rust, y'all. I mean, oh my gosh, it's so close to the same color as rust. Check that out. I love it. I love using the Arteza paints. Now, for this one, I've got a black paint marker that I got from the Dollar General. And I couldn't kind of decide the way I wanted the door to look. So I start out with just a line down the middle. And then I kind of wait a little bit, and I realize that I've gotten it too far over. So I fill in the sides, trying to kind of even it out a little bit. And you'll see that I continue to fill it in quite a bit, trying to even it out. I mean, it's not real bad, but it was noticeable to me. Made little crosses for the door handles. I'm going to place just a little window up at the top. Super simple. Super, super simple, y'all. Now, I'm taking some black chalkboard paint, one of those chip brushes, pastry brushes, and I'm just going to distress both the little church and the little barn. The last thing I did to these was take my hot glue and go all the way around the bottom, and then I added in the reindeer moss, and I think that it really just made these pop, y'all. I did make a little cross, and I added it to the top of our little church, but y'all, these are so stinking cute. I feel like they're like primitive or something, maybe. I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think in the comments. And now for the final reveal. I sure hope that y'all have enjoyed these. right, y'all, that is it for today. I hope that you guys have enjoyed these. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, share this with your friends and family, subscribe if you would like to see more DIYs like this, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you will know each time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and y'all have a blessed day.